Hello, beautiful soul. Today I want to talk about something that might ruffle a few feathers, but it needs to be said. We're going to talk about gratitude. Not the real kind, that effortless kind of gratitude that bubbles up in moments of clarity or that sacred whisper when something finally clicks into place. That kind of gratitude does not need a worksheet, it doesn't need a coach, and it does not need an app. And it sure as heck does not need to be broadcast on social media for approval. But somehow we've created an entire industry around the idea that if you're not practicing gratitude every single day, journaling your blessings, smiling through adversity, and thanking the universe while your back breaks, you're spiritually failing. That's not growth. That's formatting. Before we dive in, I just want to remind you to click the subscribe button, click the like button, and leave a comment at the end to let me know you were here, even if you just want to say hi. I love our conversations in the comments. All right, let's dive in. We live in a world where people are exhausted, overworked, and desperate for meaning. And into that pain steps a glossy version of gratitude. Not truth, sedation. This version of gratitude teaches people to normalize dysfunction, spiritualize abuse, and decorate trauma with heart emojis. It doesn't heal you. It makes you easier to manage. It makes you easier to market to. And it makes you easier to silence. You've seen the posts. Thank you, universe, for this lesson. I'm so grateful for the pain it taught me to love myself. Like, it sounds really deep, right? But often, this is just a linguistic tranquilizer. It's not healing. It's a script that buries real emotions under performance. It trains you to bypass appropriate human responses and reframe every injustice into some kind of personal development. This happened for me. There's a lesson in this. Except sometimes there isn't. Sometimes it's just plain cruelty, and it's okay to say so. This cult of gratitude erases power dynamics. It shames your emotional reactions, and it turns your suffering into marketable content. We've got gratitude journaling, gratitude meditations, gratitude challenges. Repeat, repeat, repeat until you are obedient, until you are programmable, until you are pacified. And that's not spiritual growth. That's cognitive grooming. And it's especially effective on women, those of us who've been taught since childhood to smile, to say thank you, to serve, and to make peace. In this framing, anger becomes a flaw, sadness becomes weakness, and the only acceptable emotion left is gratitude. So you end up calling it growth when someone steps on you. You call it healing when you finally go numb. But that's not healing. That's learned helplessness. This is spiritual gaslighting, plain and simple. The same blueprint used by abusive systems for centuries. Reframe your suffering as a divine test, and suddenly questioning the system becomes a spiritual betrayal. And yes, I get a little spicy about this topic. They've just rebranded God's plan as the universe's lesson. Same manipulation, new label. You're angry. You must be unhealed. You're hurting. You must have low vibration. You're traumatized. Time for a reframe. It's classic abuser logic, and we wrap it up in crystals and sage. But then comes the economy of it all. When you're compliant, when you've been broken in, you will buy the journal. You will sign up for the activation. You'll register for the year-long program on finding your light. They've monetized your pain and convinced you to pay for the privilege of never addressing the root of it. We now have a gratitude economy built on mass scale sedation. Everyone clapping for their own exploitation. Thank you for the challenge, we whisper, never asking who created it, never questioning the system that keeps dishing out pain. Because when gratitude becomes the default, no one protests, no one pushes back, no one speaks up. And the worst part? There are coaches, therapists, and influencers, some of them truly well-meaning, who push this like it's sacred wisdom. But what they're really selling is compliance wrapped in glitter. You're not being empowered. You're being trained to swallow injustice and call it growth. And when someone dares to speak about their pain, that real, raw, messy pain, here comes the gratitude brigade with all their reframes. But look how strong you are now. Everything happens for a reason. Ugh, what a load of crap. Notice how no one ever asks, who made you need to be strong in the first place? What system created this so-called reason? It's always about your reaction to the pain, never about your source of the pain. Do you understand the gaslighting now? And I'm sure it's starting to click. It's making sense at this point, I'm sure. This is not an accident. That's strategy, because gratitude is only dangerous when it's used to silence rage, when it dresses up abuse in silk and sage, when it teaches people to lose their voice and call it healing, to stop resisting and call it peace. Yes, sometimes we feel grateful, but real gratitude isn't shiny. It's not a performance. It does not erase your pain. It coexists with it. It does not demand a silver lining. It allows for a storm. You don't owe anyone a gratitude list. You don't have to find beauty in betrayal. You don't have to spiritualize what broke you. And you sure as heck don't have to thank it. So no, I'm not here to guide you through a gratitude practice. I'm here to hand you back your bullshit detector. If it leads to gratitude, great. And if it leads to rage, even better. Because awareness doesn't begin with thankfulness. It begins with the refusal to lie about what's actually happening. And sometimes what's happening is someone is screwing you over. And the appropriate response to that is not gratitude. The appropriate response is to stop them. So if this message hit home, if you've ever felt shamed for your anger, guilted into being grateful, or pressured to call pain a lesson, you are not alone. You are not broken. You are waking up. And if you're ready to reclaim your truth, your fire, and your power, I'd love to walk that path with you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more grounded, real-world spiritual insights. Leave a comment and tell me, what have you been taught to be grateful for that you're no longer tolerating? And if you feel called, please share this with someone who's also done being polite about their pain. You don't owe anyone a performative healing journey. You only owe yourself the truth. Until next time, please keep your discernment sharp and your magic wild. And as always, have a magical day.
Whispers told me to smile through the pain, dress the wounds in